It's February 6th. This is a food stamp card. It's February 6th. That's dropped on the ground because they can't use it anymore. So mine's been just used up. I still hold it for a little while. I might have $1 on it, probably less. So anyhow, I am in a homeless state, and I'm walking right now to a job interview. I am completely out of cash, and there is no way for me to make any cash happen as of yet. Now, I was still in my mobile home about 3 or 4 months ago. I could go to the food pantries and cook food, even though my trailer was without power because they weren't going to restore power to the trailer. I still was able to use gas things and make food cooking impossible, and I still had running water. I took cold showers. So now I am in a shelter, and I do get food, but when I'm out job interviewing, I'm not able to make it to the meals. When I'm out there searching for jobs, I miss the opportunities. When I finally start working, I will not have any way to eat at the shelter if I'm working day shift. Only if I'm working graveyard shift can I eat and work. So that's the only way I could eat at a shelter, so I have a third shift job. And anyhow, there is a lot of things have changed. It's almost impossible to make it like you used to. You used to be able to panhandle, and there's no panhandling at all, I guess. And you can't fly signs anywhere. You can't ask for help for food or anything. It's really scary. Dumpster diving was, as sick as it may sound, I used to go to rainbow gatherings a long time ago. We dumpster dived a lot of food. Unbelievable amount of food that could be reused. Or not reused, but they were thrown out because the people weren't going to hang on to it. Well, it got used up right away, the gatherings, especially vegetables and fruit. Sometimes I filled a whole pickup bed full of food, dumpster diving, so I could feed the gathering. Nobody could donate any money to the hat, and we had kitchens. And so it was a lesson I learned, but now I think it's really hard. Just about every dumpster is sealed, and it's a criminal act. I haven't done that yet because I'm fed. Not at all. Wink, wink. But it is scary. There are some people that will do bad things, and you have to worry about that. Dumpster diving is dangerous. One, you can get arrested, and getting arrested means it's harder for you to get a job if you get a felony charge. When you're homeless, you can get into a lot of trouble doing hardly anything at all. People want you to go, and they keep talking about it around you. We want you to go. They don't want to see homeless people. They don't want to think, but I tried really hard to work. I want to work. It's definitely age discrimination. It's hitting me, definitely. And the government cannot the companies, they know the rules, they know they shouldn't, but they bend them all the time. There's nothing you can do. You know, if the government doesn't see a problem and the rules are on there, but they just don't want to enforce them, then you're at the mercy of the forces that are against you. So anyhow, it's another thing. You could donate blood or donate plasma, and I was doing that when I was in my trailer. I had a residency, and I could donate plasma, and I would make about $100 a week, and that would have helped me while I was in the shelter. It would have made a world of difference. So I went back and I was hoping I could donate. But the rules are, if you're in jail, they got a list of rules. You get tattoos or acupuncture. So this is the one place. I'm hoping there's a place I can donate plasma while I'm in a shelter. So if I stay with somebody, I could donate plasma and I could have money. That way, a little bit of money. And while I'm looking for work, but I can't. There's nowhere for me to stay with anybody at this time. So what happened? So the food stamps, as I showed you that card, are gone. That helped me. I had food money. When I went out and I went looking for a job, I could buy food with the food stamp card. And I got to eat in a shelter. Also, shelter situations can change. They have rules. And everybody has to follow those rules. So circumstances and privileges can change via shelter. And so that could mean a little more hardship on top of that. So I've been doing okay. I have to say that I've gotten food at the shelter. I'm very grateful, and I don't want to put them down or anything. They really help a lot. But we sure wished our system was better than it is, because it's got too many holes in our system. Makes it a terribly mean and brutal system that we live in. We really do. And people who are not in it cannot relate. So anyhow, if you want to donate and help me through these tough times, I sure could appreciate it. You can mail to my P.O. Box. It's P.O. Box 21318, St. Pete, Florida 33742. P.O. Box 21318, St. Pete, Florida 33742. Frank Orlando. And you can mail cards there to me for food cards, gift cards, where you buy like at Publix. I'm not take advantage of people, but if you want to help me, it can help. Or maybe I might have got the P.O. Box wrong, but I have it on my Facebook account. I'm kind of nervous. Anyhow, so panhandling is not legal. Asking for help on the street. So I'm trying it online until I get arrested for that. Because they don't want us asking for help in any shape or form. We can't go in the dumpsters. You can't go and draw plasma unless you have a residency. It used to be the way that they got supplies was through the homeless. Now you got to be a person that is in a home to get money. So I don't know. And the day laborers, I haven't found out a way where I used to go to the labor pool and do day labor in Tampa, and it saved me. Well, that's gotten more complicated. Their whole job searching issue is getting harder. And like I said, they're getting where they don't want to hire people in their 50s. So is retirement at 50 now? So if I don't get a retirement thing at 67, and yet companies won't hire me because I'm in my 50s, then there's a gap, isn't there? So am I just supposed to live on nothing? Am I supposed to live on nothing? And we tighten up the rules, so there's no way for you to give off the land. We can't ask for help. I mean, what's going on? What's going on is it's brutal. And I want to tell you, I am a hard worker. I've worked at a lot of companies, and I want to work. I want to work every day, except for maybe a couple days out of the week. I want to work. I'll work 6 days a week. I'll work 7 days, but I have traditionally worked 5 days. I want to go to work real bad. I don't want to have to ask for help. I really don't. I don't want to ask for help. And I'm telling you, it's tough. It's tough and scary. A lot of people in the shelters, they get really uptight and they're scared. Some of them are not themselves. It's obvious they're not themselves. They're scared and they're not knowing how they're going to get by. People who are have never been homeless, they get in and their behaviors are odd, can get them in trouble. I'm learning that now, and you have to be really careful not to get into arguments with people, and you have to learn in a shelter how not to get into a fight, because that fight will get you in jail and prison, and your nerves are upset and that other person's nerves are upset. Hypersensitivity is up there, and you have to learn to adjust to being around people and learning how to live in a shelter. So anyhow, I want everybody in Pinellas County to be nicer to homeless. And I always kind of figured it was harder and I always had compassion. I didn't give enough. I really didn't give enough. I realize now that there needs to be more giving to help the homeless. There needs to be a whole lot better system. And I had a plan for those that are working for an 8x10 room, and it's built around not having AC, but the airflow, the house or structure is built where it cools the house. The way they did it before air conditioning was in homes. Airflow under the floor and airflow through windows, and a fan, electric fan, and a public bathroom, and you have 2 bathrooms for 10 rooms. And if you build a structure like that, you can build it cheap and you can rent it cheap. And when I was in high school, the idea was 1 week's pay paid your whole month rent. If we can live on that, and our government determines rent, if we could live like that, although our government doesn't want to determine rent, then the wages aren't matching the rent anymore. And the rules that were applied in economics in high school in 1985 are not working today. Because generally now we're up to 50 or 60% of your wages, at least on average. It takes 50 or 60% of your wages, and some people, they're probably up to 80% if they're living alone. If they're living alone, trying to rent a house or an apartment, it's pretty damn tough. It's almost all their wages. A whole bunch of people have no money for health care and food. That's a real problem, and it's not a small number, it's a lot. So I've come up with this strategy. Let's come up with a situation for people who are laborers, who are on low wage things. 1 week's rent pays your little 8x10 apartment. 1 week's rent. If you're on a low wage job, which is minimum wage or a little higher, or whatever the average wage is now, 1 week's rent covers your monthly rent on your little place to stay. It has these features, all of it to keep affordability so you do not go into debt. You have to understand, we, the people, are living at a time frame when they want us in debt. I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to owe. I had loan offers, but I had no way to pay them back. And they're calling me on the phone. I don't deal with people that own a building, so I can't protest or get mad if they fuck me. Excuse the language. If they screw me out. So that's it. I have to cut it short. It's almost 15 minutes now. That I want us, we should have politicians that talk about things like this. Not politicians that want to talk about forcing every kid to wear a frickin' uniform. That's what's going up against our governor. Do you feel like you have really a real chance when you have politicians that talk like that instead of real issues? We need politicians that care about people, problems, like making it and surviving in the world today. Not politicians worried about stinking clothes. I think that's a petty issue. That's where he would launch. How about politicians that talk about real big projects that can revolutionize? I was talking about an overhand, like Chicago, a subway system that's up on rails, up high, because we have the Florida soil, and we make stops from St. Pete on the Pinellas Trail. We build it up so people can walk underneath it, and it's an express rail that goes from St. Pete to Clearwater, and it stops at Clearwater. We already got buses to do everything in between. Then you go and you race from Clearwater to maybe Newport Richey, and it stops there real fast. Then it goes from Newport Richey to Spring Hill and makes a stop there. And then from Spring Hill to Brooks Hill. Then we have a trail, and it follows the trail, and it moves. So it does 5 or 6 major cities. And you have a little tiny scooter. You've seen people, they look like a skateboard with a stick. And there's something that folds under the seat, and you can ride to your next bus or something. A little type of device that will roll you 5 or 10 miles at most, but will get you around where you use it. It works in conjunction with the bus and this rail system idea that works kind of like high-speed rail, but still connects a commuter that connects cities. It's kind of an idea I have, but I don't know that it'll ever get built. But you know what? I gotta say, Dick Greco did a great job, didn't he? With that trolley system. You know, Ed Turnick talked about light rail back in the 90s or 80s or something, 1980s in Tampa. He was a city councilman, and I really liked his idea because we just do these huge road projects. And I want to say that I kind of whispered to a group that deals with the Visitors Association, THCVA. I went to Seattle and I saw an old trolley system running on the Channel District. And I kind of hinted at it while I was making a delivery to this Visitor Association who printed books. And I don't know that I'm the one that brought that trolley system. But you know what? It did happen. It really did happen. Dick Greco built it. Maybe a word or suggestion. So I'm making these suggestions, and I'm not sure that they're going to hear me. Maybe that's an outdated system, but think of something kind of like Disney World, up on an extended rail. Yeah, Disney World. You know, they have that monorail system that's elevated, and it's taking you from downtown St. Pete, and it's racing you all the way to Clearwater, where there's a little more affordable apartments maybe built there now. You know, because there's room to grow in Clearwater. They could grow some big affordable housing up in there, would really revolutionize Clearwater. And this high-speed rail, you could work in downtown Clearwater, or you could maybe be all the way out in Spring Hill. And with this express line, you wouldn't have to fight traffic coming in off of 75. It goes all the way to Spring Hill. This light rail system that I'm talking about, it's elevated, maybe like a Disney World monorail system. It could really revolutionize. So it's just an idea that I have. Speak it, and maybe it becomes a reality. I am Frank Orlando. It's February 6th, 2026 on a Friday. I hope you enjoyed my conversation. Thank you.